Takashi? You ask your personal guard. You pretend to be nervous, like a love-stricken newlywed. Yes, Your Highness. He bows in a silly fashion, making you giggle. Might I ask where? You clear your throat. Is my fiancé's room? Oh, why, of course. He smiles. Right this way, milady. You follow him down the corridor, only stopping a few doors down. Here it is. I'll wait to escort you back to your room. He winks. Thank you, you say. You knock on the door, unconditionally using the same knock you and Hiro use. It's Princess Mizuka. You hear a pause. Then a quiet answer. Come in. You enter, pushing the door open slowly. The door is large, bigger than yours, with a huge bed and windows along one wall. It's simple, as it doesn't have much decoration, but it is grand, fit for a king and his queen. Oh, I'm sorry if I interrupted something, Your Highness. I was just wondering if... Shoto holds up his hand and stops you. Please don't use that facade on me. And it's Shoto. He says, almost motionless. You blink. How could he tell? You sigh and sit in a chair next to him. Sorry, I just... don't know what to do about all this. You apologize, and it's true. You're stuck. Just what you've been doing, Shoto says. Lie. Lie? I don't want to lie to you. You admit. You tired of lying. Fine, then tell me. What does your father want? He questions you. And it surprises you. What does father want? Well, you start. He wants to show other kingdoms we are still strong, at least. That's what he told me. Shoto nods. But I don't think he's telling the truth. You added, now that you think about it, how would this make your kingdom seem strong? What is the point? My father, Shoto says, wants your quirk. What? And how will he get it, you ask? Well, as you know, quirks can be passed down through generations. A child either getting one of the parents' quirks or a mixture of the two. You think you know what he's trying to say? And he's sure that if we have a kid, he looks away from you. That they will get a mixture of our quirks, making them extremely powerful and under his control. You're stunned. You knew there was something fishy about all this. But quirk breeding? Ugh! This is basically a quirk marriage. Of course, he won't start to hint it at all until after the wedding. Just be prepared. Shoto adds, feeling your eyes once again. Did your father know about this? Is that why he was so eager to get rid of you? Does Hiro know? It's too much. You can feel tears start to form. First, I was sold like cattle. Now I'm getting forced to breed just because of my quirk. I wish I didn't have this damn quirk. You shouted, angry tears falling down your cheeks. Shoto looks slightly shocked, but he understands. His eyes look so intelligent, like you've been through so much, more than you could ever know. And a scar? You want to know the story behind that scar. You want him to tell you, though. But more on that. You wanted to know everything. You wanted to tell him everything. I'm sorry, you say, wiping your tears. Royalty mustn't cry. It is frowned upon. No, Shoto says. Even royals must cry sometimes. I think. And in his own strange way, he's comforting. Thank you, Shoto. You say quietly. You regain your composure and start to speak again. I'm not sure what my father wants, but I do think he will have some intentions. You stand up. Thank you for your time, but I feel like I have some thinking to do. He nods, and you leave the room. You can't help but feel out of place as you walk down the corridor with Takashi, your silver dress contrasting with the dark reds and whites. You have to fit in and figure out what exactly the two kings are planning. Time for a makeover. You've picked a new dress, one that matches the color coordinations of the castle. Your hair was put in a braid and cut slightly shorter to match the trending style of the kingdom. You thank the maids and they leave your room, proud of their accomplishments. Takashi, you call for your guard. God. Oh. Yes, Your Highness. He speaks, his head in the doorway. Could you fetch me all the books you can find on quirks and how they are passed down? He smiles and nods, bonding in the direction of the library. Finally alone, you slide open the secret compartment in your desk. You discovered it not too long ago, but nothing to put in. Soon you will. You shut the drawer. Takashi returns quickly, carrying 3 books, and sets them down on your desk. Here you are, my lady. I'll be right outside. He then shuts the door. You open the first book, titled Quirks, the Study of the Unnatural. It's full of facts about quirks and theories about their origins. Most of these studies are already known. You flip a chapter, and it's called Quirks and Genetics. Quirks, like freckles and eye colors, can be passed down through generations, each child gaining one of the parents' quirks or a mixture of 2. You stopped reading. You already know this. You close the book and switch to the next one. Histories of Quirks. You turned to the chapter titled Quirk Bending and Breeding. Quirks over the years have been blended, combining to make stronger quirks. To make more powerful quirks, people have started a ritual called quirk bending, more known by the name of quirk marriages. These marriages are arranged for the sole purpose of choosing and or enhancing the special quirk to be inherited down to the bloodline. That's it. You rip out the page and stuff it into the secret compartment. Takashi, you can return these books now. The guard walks in, taking the books, and leaves. You got excited. What you wanted. Oh, exactly what you wanted. If that's why this is a quirk marriage, then the sole purpose of it all for you and Shoto to have a child. But why would your father want that? The child would be a Todoroki and live in this kingdom, beyond father's control. So, how does this marriage benefit the Mizuka kingdom? What is its purpose? You have to dig deeper into the past and future. You must find Shoto and tell him everything. You grabbed the paper from the secret drawer and headed to Shoto's room, telling Takashi to let you go alone. You breathe in sorrow, and you can't help but be nervous. You've never told anyone the story of your childhood. If Shoto wanted, he could use this information to dethrone your father. It's a risk, but it's most exciting thing you've experienced in a long, long time. You knock on his door, your heart racing. Come in, princess, you hear him say. You enter. How did you know it was me? You ask. You always use the same knock. He smiles. That's the first time I've seen him smile. Your heart feels warm. Like his smile, it's all like it will light a fire. Oh, yes. You sit down beside him. I found something. You smooth out the paper and handed it to him. You watch his eyes as he scans the line. Quirk marriages? Shoto says. That's most definitely what this is. But what I don't get, you start to explain, is why my father agreed to this. No offense, but the Todorokis in our kingdoms are rivals. If we did have a child, it would be a Todoroki. How would that benefit my kingdom? My father's region? I don't understand. You sigh. Shoto looks confused also. Wait, you say. I actually have a confession to make, but first, you grabbed his hand and looked at his bi-colored eyes. I want you to know that I trust you. I've never told anyone this before. You take a deep breath. When I was 3 years old, King Mizuka brought me from my real parents because of my quirk's potential. I'm not even a real royal, Shoto. He takes his hand from yours and nods. Understand. Continue. You smile. As I said, King Mizuka, who I now call father, brought me from my biological parents. When I turned 10, he started the experiments. He brought me to one of the poorest village and told me to use my quirk. This is the hard part. I killed them. Everybody in that village was instantly drained of all their energy, and only Hiro managed to stop me. Since then, I've grown closer to him, and Hiro is more family than anything else is in this world. I've been trained to be a good queen all my life, following every single order, scared he would banish me. I desired to be banished. I'm a fake royal, and I killed all those people. I don't deserve to live in such a great kingdom, and things have just gotten so confusing. You realize you've ranted and stopped. Sorry, I've just never talked to anyone about this stuff. You apologize to a shocked Shoto. He pats you on the back. I think I understand. He starts, it sounds like manipulation. Manipulation? King Mizuka probably knows how you feel about everything, and he also knows you can tell anyone and get him dethroned. He made a 10-year-old kill a whole village. Sounds like a good reason for treason to me. He's right. A good queen knows when to lie, my darling. A good queen knows when to keep a secret. A good queen knows what's good for her kingdom. A good queen wouldn't put her people in danger now, would she? All those years, all the advice he gave you was a tool. A tool so he can mold your mind into whatever he wanted. So, you became a good queen. Someone who followed his orders. No questions asked. And the worst part is, it worked. Anger. That's all you feel. You clench your fists, not sure what to do with your newfound rage. Shoto must have noticed your scrunched up face. Come, he stands. Let's go reveal some stress. He leads you to a field, part of a ground dirt. You might want to change clothes. He nods to a guard and he hands you a bag. You go inside a building and open the bag. Inside is a tunic and pants, similar to what a commoner would wear. You put it on, trusting Shoto. When you come back outside, Shoto is, oh God, taking off his shirt, revealing his very, toned body. You cover your eyes and blush. Prince, what are you doing? He enters the direct circle and does, what? Yoga. He says softly, closing his eyes. You join him, standing beside him and doing the same pose. Suddenly, he starts punching the air, startling you. I do this, he says. When I'm angry, I thought it might work for you too, he says, still punching. He does some weird poses next, holding one leg up and his arms over his head. You laugh but copy him anyways, and you have to admit, he, looks hot. Shirtless and showing off his muscles, and a constructed look on his face, not to mention how, sweaty he looks. You blush and focus on punching the air, and to your surprise, it seems to be working. You're still slightly angry, of course, but Shoto doesn't want you to be. He even showed you his technique. You laughed again, making Shoto look at you. He looks confused, but at first, then smiles. I knew it would work. You smile back. Little does he know, it's not that punching that improved your mood. It was as glistening as her sweet smile. Maybe it was a bit of both.